Oh, sorry, that's for a Democrat show.
Let me know when you're ready.
No matter what the technical difficulty is, this man is a professional. He goes all the way.
What you represent to them is freedom.
Was an extremely great conservative commentator. We're tearing it up on Wednesday night. This is awesome. This
will allow me to retort.
Well, this is Jersey Joe for the Reaver of Common Sense show. 8 p.m. on shrmedia.com.
Actually, I just totally screwed up. This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm making sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeovers here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Damn. Ugh. I have no idea. All of a sudden, just like this yawn came over me. If you want to watch a broadcast, it's easy. Go to Reaver.one. Click on live stream. Oh, my God. That's simple. If you want to watch a broadcast, you can just go to Reaver.one. Go to shrmedia.com. If you want to join the live chat, you can go to Reaver.one. Click on the live stream. Or you can go to shrmedia.com. If you want to support the show, or if you really want a really cool kick-ass t-shirt, do you want a Thomas Jefferson AR-15 carrying t-shirt? Go to Reaver.one/shop. That's REAVER.ONE/SHOP. Oh, boy. It's been a weird couple days in the house. For those that know me, and I'm not embarrassed about it, but my daughter has a speech, or she had a speech impediment, and she's still, the school system initially screwed up and set her back, really back. In fact, it took 3 years to finally get her caught up. And what did it is we put our daughter in, they call them magnet schools down here. It's offered by the county, and it's the same. It's part of the public school system. There's limited seating. It's kind of like a charter school. They're limited on the class base. They're outside the box thinking teaching. The one school my daughter went to was a arts and science, and they surrounded themselves with arts, music, and the sciences. I forget which one she's in now. The middle school she just started. Well, anyways, all of a sudden we get a phone call. Tuesday, that they messed up because of her speech impediment. There's all this extra help she needs. That they're going to have to send her back to the regular school. They can't deal with it. I'm like, whoa, time out, whoa. So you accepted her because you have to be accepted into these schools. And when you go from intermediate to, middle school, we had to go through the process of finding a middle school that would accept her. There's a lot of steps you got to take. And you've got to send all the information. They look into it. So they looked into all the issues she had. And all of a sudden they're saying they can't deal with it. they're going to have to send her, they're going to have to kick her out. I'm like, number one, you're not punishing my daughter because you guys didn't do your job. No, not happening. For the first time, my daughter's actually, she's running like 2 or 3 A's and the rest B's. Sorry, she has 1 math. For some reason, there's an assignment missing that dropped it down to a 63, which has my daughter in a tizzy. And the teacher already said that we haven't gotten the excuse, but no, that assignment, even though the grade came up 0, it's not a 0. They're giving the assignment to her. I don't know if she was sick or what. Because right before last week, she had missed a day. She missed 2 days because of the hurricane, and she missed 1 day because my wife overslept. Well, anyway, so now we got a phone call from her old IEP teacher. We stay in touch with her. This woman is great. This woman, Hillsborough County school system should make this woman the superintendent. She cares about the students. This woman cares about these kids. She actually cares. And she's like, nope, don't, I'll call you guys later. They can't throw her out. They got to accommodate her now. They can't send her out of the school. I'm like, oh, God, I love her. I love her. And she's not even in this school. She's still at the other school. But she stays in touch because she wants to make sure Jordan gets everything that she needs. And she's still fighting for my daughter. That's the type of teacher this woman is. She is still fighting for my daughter. It's beautiful. I love her. It's unbelievable. It's beautiful. It just gets me giddy. I know that doesn't have to deal with conservative or talk radio or any of that. It's just something that there still is teachers out there. And what it also comes down to is these Democrats say that allowing parents to pick and choose where to send their kids, it's going to offset the kids, and the inner city kids are the ones that are going to get. No, it's not. No, it's not. Hillsborough County allows you to pick your school. You have to do it in a timely manner. If not, if there is no room for the school of your choice, you're automatically get put back into the one in your neighborhood. That's within your district. There's still districts, and you're still assigned certain schools. But if your kid can make the requirements and make the cut to get into magnet schools, you can get into magnet school. And once you're in, as long as you're trying and you're working, you're in magnet school. Now, if you're not, if the parents are constantly bringing the kid in late, if the kid's missing all these days, the kid's getting straight Fs nonstop, not trying, that's the key word, they'll send the kid back to the district school to open a spot for a kid that wants to succeed. And don't tell me it's going to hurt minorities. Because in these magnet schools, and they put up their stats, my daughter is the minority by a majority. I mean, she is the minority. I think the one she's in, it's like 60, 70% black. Then it's like Hispanic. Then it's white and Asian. And I don't have an issue with it. It's just the ability to pick and choose your school. And then they sit there and talk about transportation. Well, Hillsborough County is a very big county. And I got my issues with Hillsborough County. Don't get me wrong. But they transport all the kids. All the kids get transport. Even from one side of the county to the other. If you get accepted to a school on the other side of the goddamn county, you will get transport. Now, here's the drawback. And this is why we take our daughter to school and we pick her up and bring her home. She would have to leave like 5:30 in the morning for school and not get home to 4:30, 5 o'clock at night. Well, screw that. Listen, I know as a job, as she gets older, with a job, that might be a realistic scenario. But as a kid, nah. She's 12 years old. She's been in these magnets since second grade. I mean, you got kids that get into kindergarten right away. And they're on the bus at 5 o'clock, and they're getting in and going right back to sleep on the bus. I mean, it's ridiculous. They offer it. You have the choice of whichever way you want to go. So I do understand they offer busing. I'm not going to put my daughter on the bus that early. So that's out of the question. And trust me, this would be a lot easier if we just sent our kid to the local school. She'd be on the bus. It's like a 5-10 minute drive from my house. But no, it's... She's in the magnet school, and I'm glad we have the choices. I'm glad we're allowed to make the choices for our kid, because we're able to make individual outlook and choose for the needs of my daughter. Because every kid has different needs. And just because you live in a certain area does not mean that's the needs the kids need. All right, sorry that sounded weird, but I'm sure everybody understands what I just meant by that. So giving choices to parents is not going to hurt the minorities. It's not going to hurt. It's going to give better education. It makes the school districts, because one of the things in these magnet schools, that Hillsborough County, it's all part of the county, the public school system. But the magnet teachers are under different contracts. Oh, yes. And everything has to be running a certain way. The schools have to be getting a certain grade. The teachers have to be meeting certain requirements. And it's, they have to be performing. The principals have to be performing. It's not like some of these schools where the principal, just gets in there and rides it out, or a teacher gets in there and rides it out. And trust me, I already had one of those teachers when we were in the regular school system. Oh, that one. Side note, they had to hold my daughter back one year, and we were having a discussion about it, and the teacher starts friggin' laughing. Needless to say, I had to get up and remove myself from that meeting. Because if that was a male teacher, I think I would have got arrested, because I was busted his teeth then. But it was a female teacher, so I ended up getting up and walking out. Because I thought it was bullshit that a teacher, whether they're talking about something else or not, sitting there laughing, and a subject like that was totally disgusting. Long story short, what we immediately did is went home, called the superintendent's office. My wife was meeting my daughter for lunch, because a lot of these schools in Hillsborough County, you can go to the school during your kid's lunch period and have lunch with your kid. They encourage it, especially for the younger grades. My wife sees the principal. The principal sees my wife, does an about face, and walks the other way. Hillsborough County is pretty good at, if a parent makes a complaint, the school district. Because each school district, it's broken up. There's several different sub-superintendents. If we got, let's say, 14 districts. Hillsborough County breaks up into, let's say, 14 different districts of school systems, or school sections. There is 14 sub-superintendents that cover a certain amount of schools. And they're responsible for that, and they answer to the main superintendent. Well, they don't like getting phone calls from parents. They do not like it, especially an asshole like me, who calls up and asks why, he thinks it's good that his teachers are laughing at parents when they're voicing concerns about their kids. So it's just it was great to get that email from our old teacher saying telling us some of the laws. Because as much as you research it, it's hard to know everything as a parent. But it's helped before because my mom worked for Hillsborough County School. My wife's mother was a teacher. Her grandmother was a teacher. So they were in a different state, but still there's a lot of knowledge they pass over to us. And my daughter usually goes up to visit my wife's parents for like 2-3 weeks a shot. And while she's up there, it's not exactly a vacation for the poor girl. It's a vacation. She gets to see her grandparents. But her grandmother is retired, but volunteers at a library and all that. So she brings our daughter along, and she's given schoolwork to do. Because they know where she needs help at, and they work with her while she's up there. So she's still getting, quote-unquote, tutoring. And I'm not complaining about it. So if you're listening, it is not a complaint. I actually like when she goes up there and you give her extra work because you're able to do something that I don't exactly have the knowledge of how to do it. So but at the other side, I'm going, oh, poor girl. She doesn't get a break all summer. And the first couple of years, she kept getting, because of her speech impediment and the school was screwing up, she had to go to summer school. So she was going year-round for the first couple of years, and the first year she got off, I was like, isn't this better not having to go to summer school? She's like, yeah. But she loves school, so it's not that bad. I just dropped the mic. Or not the mic, the headsets. So, there's a book out from John R. Lott Jr. And it's The War on Guns, Arming Yourself Against Gun Control Lies. And it points out that from 1950 to 2010, 60 years. 60 years. Not one mass public shooting took place in an area where citizens could arm themselves in self-defense. In other words, gun-free zones. 60 years worth of mass shootings. All took place in gun-free zones where no one could defend themselves. I have been preaching that on this show. I cannot emphasize that enough. And I've said that it's been like 95% lately. Because there was one mass shooting in California. It started on a gun-free zone campus, but then it went out onto the streets of California. And I don't know California's concealed carry laws that great, so I'm not going to take a guess. But from what I understand, it's a for-need state, and to get it, it's that hard. And sorry. I'm looking, they're going over about the Commander-in-Chief forum last night. And we'll get to that in a few minutes. This revelation out of this book that really went into facts and everything, it flies in the face of the 21st century gun control movement claims that gun-free zones do not endanger innocents. It exposes the fallacy of arguments that present attackers as uninterested parties who choose a target by chance, never taking into account whether the target contains people who can shoot back. According to Lott, from 1950 to 2010, not a single mass shooting occurred in an area where general citizens are allowed to carry guns. Over the entire 60-year period, just over 1% of mass public shootings occurred in such places. From 1950 to 2016, just over 1% of the mass shootings occurred in such places. Think about that. 66 years and basically 1%. 1%. I was saying 95%, so 5%. But I was also talking within the last 7.5 years. And for those that think this is just a made-up number, as the author went along, he makes sure to provide documentation, where possible, of the decision-making process that guided many of the most high-profile attacks in choosing their targets. Those decisions proved to include avoiding would-be victims who will be able to shoot back. And we have one of the modern day that the anti-gun idiots talk about is the Aurora movie theater shooting. And I believe it was Holmes is the guy's name, said he went to several theaters. And one of them or the one that he chose because it was a gun-free movie theater. And he knew nobody could shoot back at him. That's why he chose that one. It's from 1950 to 2016. 1%, people. 1%. And an example, in February 2016, a wiretap of Khalid Abu Rayyan, a would-be attacker in Detroit, caught him admitting that he wanted to attack a church because people are not allowed to carry guns in church. Darian Ruff, the gunman behind the Emmanuel African Methodist Episcopal Church attack, first planned to attack the College of Charleston switched plans and attacked the church after realizing the college had armed guards. And again, it brings up the Aurora movie theater gunman, James Holmes, used his diary to explain that he did not choose the closest theater or the biggest theater for his attack. Rather, he chose the gun-free theater. He chose the only theater within 20 minutes of his apartment that banned permitted concealed handguns, which isn't exactly against the law for someone to carry in an establishment like that. Number one, if you're carrying concealed, no one's really going to know you're carrying. And even if you're caught, the only thing they could do is ask you to leave. You can't get arrested. It's not against the law to carry a gun in a business that doesn't want to have guns carried. Now, there is a list of federally prohibited areas that will get you arrested. And anybody that owns a gun should know those areas like the back of their hand. But a movie theater is not one of them. And let's go to the Lafayette Theater attack. John Russell Hauser, who is behind the July 23rd, 2015 theater attack. And he attacked one of the only 2 movie theaters in the area that banned handguns. He chose that theater because it did not allow handguns. They love to pick these easy targets. And there's something going on in Texas. All right, let me get back to this after the break. There's reports of a gunshot at a Texas school, but they're not classifying it as an active shooter. Something's not exactly adding up. That it's being like a major shooting or something. Let me see what I can find out. I don't want to misspeak on it. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media, High Plains Pundit Radio, ICRN Network, Red Nation Rising Radio, Speaker, YouTube, and iTunes. We will be right back.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
Now, at Brownells, we know you may have only one shot to harvest that trophy, so we have thousands of accessories and replacement parts to improve your chances. We know how much you love to shoot, so our gunsmiths articles and videos will help you do more and get more out of your guns. We also value your hard work and money. That's why only Brownells backs up everything we sell with a 100% unconditional lifetime guarantee. Brownells, the world's largest supplier of firearm accessories and gunsmithing tools.
My name is Chris Peranto, call sign Tonto. I was with the Global Response Staff. We were the security element for the Central Intelligence Agency in Benghazi, Libya on 9/11/2012. Myself and my team responded to an attack that killed Ambassador Chris Stevens, Sean Smith, and 2 of my teammates, Tyrone Woods and Glenn Doherty. Radical Islam is basically terrorism in a nutshell. It wants to not only put down Western values, it wants to kill anybody that supports those Western values, which is freedom, which is Christianity, and which is also anything that looks poorly on Sharia law. We've allowed it again to grow into something that it shouldn't be, and it's becoming stronger and stronger every day that we don't lead from the front. Obama and Hillary, by avoiding the phrase radical Islam, they're being politically correct. They don't see it for what it is, and that's straight up destroying the Western world. Radical Islam doesn't have a fear. They will give up their lives. They will detonate themselves. They will do anything they can to fulfill Sharia law and kill the infidels. If we're not able to even say radical Islam, the word radical Islam, there's no way we can fight it. There's no way we can defeat it. The United States of America doesn't lead from behind. We're always setting the example. If not, we're going to see terrorism get bigger and bigger, and eventually it's just going to be continual lone wolf attacks in the United States. And I don't want that to happen to my kids. I don't want to see my family go through that. Please join me in waking up Washington in this fight on radical Islam, seeing the threat that it really is. Sign up at leadingfromthefront.org.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying calf for the stupid promo.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the Reaver of Common Sense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date with everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm making sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover's here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember, if you want to watch a broadcast, go to Reaver.one, click on the live stream. If you want to join the live chat, you can go to, you guessed it, Reaver.one and click on the live stream. Now, if you want to buy a kick-ass t-shirt, you go to Reaver.one and click on shop, or Reaver.one/shop. So last night there was that presidential, or what was it, Commander-in-Chief Forum. Listen, I know it was a little bit of a hit piece on Trump. It went way better. Holy shit, did it go better than I thought it would go. I know Fox News is doing their normal doom and gloom, but all the other Clinton channels are doing the same. I don't think it could have been a hell of a lot worse. Surprised me that Clinton went first. But as Crash, we were talking on the phone last night, and he said by her going first, It allowed her to set the tone on a lot of the answers so that it would be him copying her, possibly, with certain answers, which I don't see coming down, but I understand his sentiment behind it. Now, I was expecting send Trump out, really rile him, have her come out. She's prepared for everything. She was already prepared. So was the moderator, because a question from the crowd came out, and immediately the moderator, oh yeah, in 2013 you tweeted this. How did you know he was going to ask that question? How did you know the tweet would respond to his question? It's Trump stumbled here and there, yes. But it was not, they tried attacking him. I understand they attacked him and all that. It's, to me, it could have been a lot worse. A hell of a lot worse than what came out. I thought his answers were pretty good. And pretty straightforward. I know the big thing is, well, he said he was against the Iraq war, and we don't know if he was. Listen. If that's the only thing you got to bitch about, that he opposed the Iraq war, and people, you got problems. That's the only bitch you have. Oh, and there is about the comment about the oil, that he would have taken the oil from the Saudis. Whoopee. His comment is based on that we should be reimbursed for our sending our people to war. We should be reimbursed to fight in other people's war. Our military personnel who die, their families should be compensated by these countries that we go to protect. He didn't exactly put it out the right way. I can understand doing this show. Sometimes you can't always come out with the perfect answer. So I'm not too... It could have been a lot worse. That's all I got to say. It could have been worse. Wait a minute. Something just popped up. Please pop up again. Come on, open up. Oh, opening season tonight for NFL. Broncos versus God, I can't remember. Panthers. Seems that the NFL, and it's not a bad idea, doing the first game being a rematch of the Super Bowl, because I don't see Denver winning in the game. I mean, I'm not a fan of theirs. I don't hate them. I haven't watched them a lot. I don't see them being as successful as they were. I don't know. Maybe I give too much credence to Manning. There's a lot. Oh, he really didn't do nothing last year. I don't know. Now, anybody that knows me knows that I don't have much respect for Black Lives Matter. But it seems that this brand has gone global. Now, they shut down an airport, the London City Airport, the other day. And there was 9 of them. Black Lives protesters, and they've been charged with aggravated trespassing at London City Airport. But the big news is they were all white. The Black Lives Matter protesters in London were all white. And they were chanting that climate change is racist. So basically what's happening is Black Lives Matter is being infiltrated and taken over by white people to push climate change. And I love the climate change is racist. Global warming is so racist. These people are so fucking stupid. Seriously. An amoeba is smarter than you. Right now they got Chief Dave Brown discusses his resignation from the Dallas Police Department. I'm pretty sure the stress of everything that went on is weighing heavy on him, and but I'm still Black Lives Matter gets arrested at London airport. They've gone global. A lot of headlines. They've gone global. They shut down an airport. This. The only thing I could think, it's a bunch of social justice warriors that thought they can do it better. I don't know. I don't even know. Yeah, but this climate change is racist, and that's the dumbest ass slogan I've ever heard. That is, I've heard drunk and stoned people come up with better slogans than that. They're gaining no public sympathy through and I'm sorry, I'm laughing at the same time because you got an all-white group claiming their Black Lives Matter, protesting, and saying climate change is racist, which really got me. I have a question. Where does that leave the snake bites, foreign aid, long and short distance writing abilities? I mean, are those things racist too? It's everything. If you're against something within these social justice warrior snowflakes, you're a racist. And actually, it reminds me of a conversation I had with somebody. It was a black female, and we actually at first were not getting along on Twitter. But we kind of, she mentioned, I was being a little bit of a douchebag. I know I was. And we both calmed down after that. And she's like, as a black woman, I get attacked, and da-da-da-da-da. I was like, well, guess what? As a white male, I get attacked on everything. Everything is my fault. Everything that's wrong in your life is my fault. And she's like, no, it isn't. I'm like, I'm not saying you specifically. And she's like, no, I'm saying it's not your fault. I'm like, I know it, but everything I do, just because I disagree with liberals, because we were talking back and forth at how everybody's acting. I said, just because I disagree with your politics, I'm a racist. She's like, yeah, I get tired of that. That's bullshit. I've talked to several liberals that are friends of mine, and they all say the same thing. It's not racist because you have a different political background. Because I don't agree with Obama's politics. I don't know the man personally. So I'm not going to make a judgment on really. I'm going to make a judgment on what I see as a leader. But other than that, I don't know the man. So I'm not going to pass judgment on certain things on the man. I don't know him. But just because I don't agree with his politics, it's a weak way for liberals to shut down conversations. And it worked for so many years. It worked. But they went to that well too many times, and now the well is dry because people are going, yeah, I'm not backing down because you called me a name. And then what's funny is you come back at them and you call them a social justice snowflake. Your name calling, oh, my feelings got hurt. Yeah, that's how it goes. They can name call all they want, and their excuses, and they never Trumpers do it. Well, you're back in Trump, and he does it all the time. I figured you'd be used to it. Well, if you're going to complain about somebody doing it, you can't go and do it. That's called being a hypocrite. And this whole issue that got us on this conversation of a large group, well, I don't even want to say large, it was 9 of them, quote-unquote, Black Lives Matter protesters. And they're screaming climate change is racist. I wonder the same thing as the writer of this article, that this is not a false flag. And this wasn't actually a group trying to harm the global warming movement and the Black Lives Matter movement all in one. Or if this is just some kind of spoof. Because really, nobody could be that stupid. Nobody could be that fucking stupid to go out there and go, a bunch of white people, let's go, we're going to go be Black Lives Matter and scream climate change is racist. Weather is not racist. Oh, did you hear Obama's now claiming that Louisiana is caused by global warming? Again, if it rains, climate change. If it doesn't rain, climate change. If it's hot, climate change. If it's cold, climate change. If the sun's out, climate change. If the moon's out, climate change. Everything is climate changed. There's a hurricane, climate change. We've had them before. No, not like this. Tornadoes, climate change. You're in Tornado Alley. They come through all the time. No. There's not enough ice. Actually, there's record amount of ice. It's the total area. No, it's total area and depth. We can't get icebreakers. Now, it's only on the east side of the island. That's where the ice normally is. No. The polar bears are drowning. No, they're not. There's just as many polar bears as there was back in 1960s. The icebergs are disappearing. No, there's not. There's just as many icebergs. This is how bad it is. They're grasping at straws now with this climate change. Everything, and it's kind of right because climate changes. That's what Mother Nature does. That's why we have weathermen, because the weather is not the same day to day, year to year. It's not like, okay, this time next year it's going to rain at 3 o'clock because it rained today at 3 o'clock. That's not the way it works. Climate changes. All your theories are falling apart. They're crumbling like a dry cookie. It's the stupidity is almost brain numbing. What's funny is going back to those the Black Lives Matter and the white idiots that did this. The problem is with this little stunt they pulled, it delayed and caused cancellations of 160 flights in order to parade their spoiled little asses around. These are overindulged rich kids with fabulous trust funds. They don't understand real life. One of the activists is a film producer who lives in a 200 million pound house. Well, whatever the money thing is in UK. Another is a former JCR president at Exeter College, Oxford. It's really sad. And I do not back the Black Lives Matter group, but this was not Black Lives Matter, and their name was used. And all it did is create a more negative press. And within this, no, any press is good press. There is some things as bad press. And it just seems more like a bunch of spoiled white idiots, social justice warriors who thought it would be a good idea. And even if they were going out to hurt the Black Lives Matter, this was the stupidest because it made them look like a bunch of dumbass idiots. It's speechless. It's mind-numbing. Absolutely mind-numbing. Climate, and it's still got this climate change. What isn't climate change? What doesn't cause it? I just looked to the right. Is that climate change? The wind is blowing outside. Is that climate change? It's blowing west to east today. Is that climate? Oh, no, it's going east to west now. Climate change. Anything and everything is climate change anymore. And let's get with it. Climate changes. That's what it does. Damn beard. My goatee today is just unmanageable. It is stupidity like this that scares me that the human race can go forward, because it seems to be more and more idiots like this. Because it's easier to follow than to think for yourself nowadays. Well, I'd rather think for myself than follow any day of the week. Any day. I'd actually love everybody to lead themselves. Following doesn't get you anywhere, really. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media, High Plains Pundit Radio, ICRN Network, Red Nation Rising, iTunes, YouTube, Speaker. We will be right back.
Conservative media listening to the SHR Media Network.
Now, Brownells, we know you may have only one shot to harvest that trophy, so we have thousands of accessories and replacement parts to improve your chances. We know how much you love to shoot, so our gunsmiths articles and videos will help you do more and get more out of your guns. We also value your hard work and money. That's why only Brownells backs up everything we sell with a 100% unconditional lifetime guarantee. Brownells, the world's largest supplier of firearm accessories and gunsmithing tools.
My name is Chris Peranto, call sign Tonto. I was with the Global Response Staff. We were the security element for the Central Intelligence Agency in Benghazi, Libya on 9/11/2012. Myself and my team responded to an attack that killed Ambassador Chris Stevens, Sean Smith, and two of my teammates, Tyrone Woods and Glenn Doherty. Radical Islam is basically terrorism in a nutshell. It wants to not only put down Western values, it wants to kill anybody that supports those Western values, which is freedom, which is Christianity, and which is also anything that looks poorly on Sharia law. We've allowed it again to grow into something that it shouldn't be, and it's becoming stronger and stronger every day that we don't lead from the front. Obama and Hillary, by avoiding the phrase radical Islam, they're being politically correct. They don't see it for what it is, and that's straight up destroying the Western world. Radical Islam doesn't have a fear. They will give up their lives. They will detonate themselves. They will do anything they can to fulfill Sharia law and kill the infidels. If we're not able to even say radical Islam, the word radical Islam, there's no way we can fight it. There's no way we can defeat it. The United States of America doesn't lead from behind. We are always setting the example. If not, we're going to see terrorism get bigger and bigger, and eventually it's just going to be continual lone wolf attacks in the United States. And I don't want that to happen to my kids. I don't want to see my family go through that. Please join me in waking up Washington in this fight on radical Islam, seeing the threat that it really is. Sign up at leadingfromthefront.org.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplains.dailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying cop for the stupid pro.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking, drinking, drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the Reaver of Common Sense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date on everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I'm your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm making sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeovers here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Go to Reaver.one/shop and get yourself some great T-shirts. So the battle axe Hillary Clinton is on TV saying that Trump failed the commander-in-chief test. He failed it. The fucking witch who can't send classified material, who doesn't understand the letter C, and so many other bullshit excuses she's come up with, is out there saying that Trump failed the commander-in-chief. She failed being a senator. She failed being a secretary of state. But why is she saying it? Because Trump had the balls to say that the generals that we have now are political figures. They're too politically correct. And how is that calling out the truth, not presidential? Oh, because that's right. That little witch wants ass kissers. She doesn't want generals that actually speak their minds. She wants people that kiss her ass. So they feel he's not qualified. They're not qualified. Are both candidates 35 or older? Are they U.S. citizens? Natural-born citizens? Have they been living in the country the last 14 years? Then shut the fuck up on this qualified shit. The only qualification a person needs to become president are those 3 items. That is all that's spelled out. Everything else is rhetoric. And both sides, the rhetoric, not qualified, not qualified. Jesus Christ. It's sickening listening to it. And anybody that pays attention to someone like Hillary saying that her opponent isn't qualified is dumber than fucking dog shit. Of course she's going to say her opponent's not qualified. She doesn't want competition. Damn, it just pisses me off, and I haven't gotten like this in a while, but I'm just sick of this shit. Hillary, shut the fuck up. Your voice is worse than nails on a chalkboard. You are not. This is not your presidency. You better start earning it. And I loved one of the military personnel. Let me find the article. That to Hillary last night, and it was like one of those oh shit moments. A military personnel that handles top secret information. He was asked by a veteran. What was he in? Air Force and Navy veteran. As a naval flight officer, I held top secret sensitive compartmentalization information clearance, and that provided me access to material and information highly sensitive to our war-fighting capabilities. Had I communicated this information not following prescribed protocol, I would have been prosecuted and imprisoned. Secretary Clinton, how can you expect those such as myself, who were and are entrusted with America's most sensitive information, to have any confidence in your leadership when you clearly corrupted our nation's security? He said that. I was going, okay, this isn't just a liberal setup. Yes, I bought into, this is just a hit piece against Donald Trump, and that's all it is. This, I was like, ooh, and you could see she was pissed on that one. She was pissed. If anyone, you can come up with all the excuses you want, Hillary. You can kind of give your bullshit spin on it. All criminals, well, not all, majority of the criminals make excuses for their crimes. They try to justify breaking the law. So you sitting there running your mouth and trying to justify your illegal activities, Hillary, it doesn't sway me. Makes me laugh, yes. It doesn't sway me. And the way she was handling and talking, you could see she was getting aggravated and didn't like she was being confronted about her email and that she actually had a fucking answer for once. What is she going to do at the debates when her and Trump get to go back and forth at each other? He is going to rile that woman up so easy. It's... Hillary Clinton has been getting away with murder. The people see it. And as someone wrote, and they were being, I think, sarcastic with the wording, that the peasants are getting tired of it. I think it was a throwback to past times when the peasants would revolt against the upper echelons. And I think that we are. And if I read it right, James Comey is backing the investigations and the committees right now into Hillary Clinton's email situation. Now, it's outnumbered, and the girls are getting a little catty right now. Hillary Clinton is still running her mouth. She said, nothing was sent that was classified. There was no markers, no nothing at all. The DOJ backed me up. I know they didn't. You can sit there and you can lie all you want, bitch. You can lie all you want. The American people are seeing the evidence, and it speaks directly against you. The director of FBI spoke directly against you. You can try to spin it and then call him a liar. The head of the FBI covered your dumb ass, and you call him a liar. You talk about that you've been for the military your whole life. And as First Lady, you're very pro. But I've read time and time again. Oh, by the way, Tim Tebow has signed a minor league deal with the Mets. Hillary Clinton has never spoken. Well, I shouldn't say never. She has, spoken so highly at the military. Back when she was First Lady, she yelled at one of the generals to get the fuck away from me. She has totally attacked and belittled Secret Service members. This woman, she thinks she's a goddamn queen when she isn't even the queen of the goddamn gutter. The stories go on and on. This woman has never been anything positive towards our military. She has always belittled, demeaned our military personnel. And for her to stand up there, and the thing is, she got attacked by a progressive military personnel, and that one was funny. It was not exactly all roses for her last night. She got pretty lambasted, and there's a lot saying she walked out the loser of that. And now they're even talking, it looks like she might have had an earpiece in, was being fed information. But, the woman cannot talk in public. She has to be fed information. She gets so flustered so easily, it's not funny. She got heckled during a speech, and Jesus Christ, you're going to be the president of the United States and you can't take a heckler? And you want to talk about who's disqualified, honey? Yes, I called you honey. And don't come at me with this sexist bullshit, because I'm tired of that. Because it's okay for these women and some men to go, I'm voting for Hillary because I want the first female president. So you're voting for her just because of her sex? Yes. Wait a minute. You're voting for her because of her sex. But if I voted for Trump because of his sex, oh, that's sexist. You can't do that. Anybody see that there? Anybody see it? I can't vote for a male figure because he's male, but I could vote for a female figure because she's a female. See what it's going on with all these, a lot of these groups, these snowflake social liberal pussies. There's a hypocrite. They're hypocrites, plain out and out. They sit there and they talk about all that shit. I can't vote for this one because of this reason, but I could vote for that one because of the same goddamn reasons you told me I couldn't vote for that one. Yeah. I got a big white ass for you to kiss. You social justice, not even warriors. You're not goddamn warriors. I don't know why we give them a compliment like that and call them warriors, because they're nowhere near warriors. Whiny-ass bastards is what they are. Well, I voted for Obama because I wanted the first black president. So you voted for someone on the color of their skin? Isn't that being racist? If I said I was voting for Trump because he is a white male, you're a racist sexist. But you can say that you're voting for Hillary because she's a female. You can say you're voting for Obama because he's black. same exact thing. So don't tell me I'm sexist and all this other shit when you've done the exact same fucking thing, but because it doesn't back your candidate, you want to label me with names. So I got a name for you. Jackasses. Helmet wearing, window licking, mental midget of the day. Jeez. Every time I think that word can't get topped, someone comes along and tops it. I swear that people are taking it as a challenge when I say that and trying to top it. Really, it's not a challenge, people. Stop trying to challenge it. Let's see, where are we at? I'm so sick of this shit. And then trying not to yell, scream. And it's been a while since I did it. I'm trying not to cuss. It's... But the shit, he's not qualifying. You're not He made a statement that our generals are political figures now. Is he wrong on it? No. Because talk to these generals. They know they have to be... They got to play the political game. They can't be generals. Because you little snowflakes wouldn't be able to handle it. So it's the truth. It's not nothing extraordinary. He's not demeaning our military. He's not demeaning our military personnel. I mean, these people are playing the games to have the position be successful. Should it be like that? No. There's no need for all this shit. With the whininess that goes on, you got to play these games. And then we're finding out now that Sidney Blumenthal was reading above top secret NSA reports hours after they appeared. Former NSA officer John Schindler reports on a devastating fact not mentioned in the FBI investigation of Hillary Clinton's conducting State Department business on an unsecured homebrew email server. Sidney Blumenthal's emails read exactly like classified NSA reporting. As anybody acquainted with our SIGINT would immediately recognize, as one veteran agency official told me back in January, Blumenthal's email was NSA information with at least 90% confidence. Which was no coincidence, since an NSA investigation subsequently determined that Blumenthal's Sadine assessment was derived from the reporting. In some cases, verbatim. As I reported in March, I didn't write down who the reporter was, so please excuse me on it. I think I'm not sure. So I apologize on not having full information. But back in March, it was reported that the NSA concluded that Blumenthal's Sudan report came from 4 different agencies, all classified top secret SCI. Then it got worse. One of those reports was issued under the Gamma compartment, which is an NSA handling caveat that is applied to extraordinary sensitive information. For instance, decrypted conversation between top foreign leadership as this was. Gamma is properly viewed as a, SIGINT, SIGINT, Special Access Program, or SAP. I got an error popping up on my damn screen on Windows, and it's pissing me off. Pissing me off, I tell you. How the hell is Sidney Blumenthal getting access to all this shit? There is so much. Why do we even have it anymore when it comes to the Clintons? They do what the hell they want. Why do we have rules? You know what? I'm going to change my name to Clinton. I'm going to change my last name to Clinton. So I can go out and just start doing whatever the hell I want. It's... NSA had no doubt that Blumenthal somehow got his hands on some of their crown jewel information. It's word for word, verbatim copying an agency official stated. In one case, an entire paragraph was lifted from an NSA report that was classified top secret SCI. To add to the mystery, Sid emailed Hillary his personal assessment on Sudan only hours after some of those classified NSA reports were issued. Somehow, Sidney Blumenthal, who in 2011 was not working for the U.S. government in any capacity and had not held security clearances in a decade, was reading above top secret NSA reports just hours after they appeared in tightly restricted Gamma channels. Because Hillary Clinton was letting him. Hillary Clinton thinks she can just go around as she pleases. She feels she can go around and I just feel like doing whatever the hell I feel like doing. It's... And as I said, I can't find the article. I thought I had it. It might be further down, but during that Commander-in-Chief forum last night, a woman who says that she is progressive called Hillary a war hawk. And I don't understand. You're a progressive, and you're against war, but you're in the military. What? Oh, that makes my head hurt. That makes my head hurt. I don't understand. If you don't like war, you join the military? Zero sense. Except for they wanted the free college. So they joined the military. And a lot of people did that. I mean, my wife's cousin joined the military because he wanted to go for more college. And he was like, they can't make me go to war. They don't control me. He joined the Marines, the guy did. And they can't tell him, oh, God. All right. Yep. Okay. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media, High Plains Pundit Radio, ICRN Network, Red Nation Rising Radio, Speaker, YouTube, and iTunes. We will be right back.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Now, Brownells, we know you may have only one shot to harvest that trophy, so we have thousands of accessories and replacement parts to improve your chances. We know how much you love to shoot, so our Gunsmiths articles and videos will help you do more and get more out of your guns. And we also value your hard work and money. That's why only Brownells backs up everything we sell with a 100% unconditional lifetime guarantee. Brownells, the world's largest supplier of firearm accessories and gunsmithing tools.
My name is Chris Peranto, call sign Tonto. I was with the Global Response Staff. We were the security element for the Central Intelligence Agency in Benghazi, Libya on 9/11/2012. Myself and my team responded to an attack that killed Ambassador Chris Stevens, Sean Smith, and two of my teammates, Tyrone Woods and Glenn Doherty. Radical Islam is basically terrorism in a nutshell. It wants to not only put down Western values, it wants to kill anybody that supports those Western values, which is freedom, which is Christianity, and which is also anything that looks poorly on Sharia law. We've allowed it again to grow into something that it shouldn't be, and it's becoming stronger and stronger every day that we don't lead from the front. Obama and Hillary, by avoiding the phrase radical Islam, they're being politically correct. They don't see it for what it is, and that's straight up destroying the Western world. Radical Islam doesn't have a fear. They will give up their lives. They will detonate themselves. They will do anything they can to fulfill Sharia law and kill the infidels. If we're not able to even say radical Islam, the word radical Islam, there's no way we can fight it. There's no way we can defeat it. The United States of America doesn't lead from behind. We are always setting the example. If not, we're going to see terrorism get bigger and bigger, and eventually it's just going to be continual lone wolf attacks in the United States. And I don't want that to happen to my kids. I don't want to see my family go through that. Please join me in waking up Washington in this fight on radical Islam, seeing the threat that it really is. Sign up at leadingfromthefront.org.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplansdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying cop for the stupid pro.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking, drinking, drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mud Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the Reaver of Common Sense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date on everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense Show. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm making sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover is here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. till 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Do you want to get a kick-ass t-shirt? Go to reaver.one/shop. I got to get Matt Lauer, who was the moderator for last night's Commander-in-Chief. Oh, he's getting a shit storm from the liberals because, like I said, I don't think he did a bad job. He kind of stayed neutral. I mean, I think he went after Trump a little bit more, but I'm a Trump supporter, so of course I do. But I think it was pretty neutral. I really do think it was... If you look at it total, he kind of went down the middle. Now he is getting hammered by the left because, well, there wasn't enough time to talk about ISIS because Matt Lauer is too busy talking about Hillary's emails. He is getting lambasted right now because he actually talked and asked questions that the people are talking about. He didn't protect Hillary. Everybody thought, and even I thought he would protect her. I was shocked when he went at her about some of these subjects. He really went at her. So now he is getting lambasted by the left. And they're saying that he was too weak on Trump. Listen, he kept going back to Trump's past tweets. Things before he got into the political realm. Listen, I can't justify everything Trump does. That's not my job to do. But some of the stuff that he said over the past, yeah, it's easy for Hillary to make some of these determinations. She's making these mistakes, having clearance for more information than the public has. And if you don't understand where I'm going, she gets top secret clearance information. Trump has not gotten it until he started running. So only information he had was what everybody else was given. So he was judging his opinions based on that. She was judging her opinions based on top secret information. Who's the one that's going to have a little bit more leeway for error, in my opinion? The one that doesn't have the top secret information. She has all the information in front of her, where the rest of us only have bits and pieces of it. We don't have a 100% of the puzzle. So, you know what, for her to be making excuses, and they're trying to go to Trump, what he said in the past, but they want to sit there and say, well, we can't discuss this because it was in the past. We don't want to talk about Obama. It's in the past. We don't want to talk about the Democrats, what they did. It's in the past. What did Trump say 13 years ago on Twitter? Or however many years. You know what I mean. But what the frig? You can't have it both ways, liberal. And for you to be going after Matt Lauer, it is hysterical. I find it funny that you're attacking your own. And it's happening all the time because you cannot defend everything that's going on with the liberals. I mean, it's so deep anymore. I don't think anybody could cover everything and, not accidentally step in it. I'm laughing. I really am laughing that Matt Lauer is getting some shit over this. They deserve it. They really do. Oh. I thought everybody would like that a little bit. Let's see, where are we? No, besides, I'm in Florida. Now, one of the, a writer and pollster put that Hillary Clinton is in real trouble and that she has no message. And this is something I've talked about because she has no message. Her only message is attack Trump, attack Trump, attack Trump, attack Trump. That's all she's done is attack Trump. And then try to divert their issues on him. Oh, he has no message. He has no policy. He speaks in, he doesn't give specifics. Well, instead of wanting to be spoon-fed everything, go to his website and you can see where it says more specifics. Period. She has none. I've looked. She has no message except to attack Trump. That's her whole campaign, attack Trump. And we see where it's getting her. Look at the polls, people. So now I bet you, she's going to try to turn it and start talking policies. But the woman is so obsessed that she is not going to be able to give up attacking Trump. People are going to get bored of that after a while. And it's going to make her sound weak if that's all she is doing. Because actually the tables have kind of turned and I'm laughing. Trump's talking policy. And he hammers her every now and then. She's chasing him and chasing his comments. And what's normally happening is the Democrats do this and the Republicans chasing the comment. She's busy chasing an email and trying to, well, she's not trying to chase it. She's trying to run away from it. I also saw where someone said, oh, this is going to be a lowest turnout. No, I think this is going to be a record amount of turnout. You got a lot of people who don't normally vote that are stepping up to vote. Yes, there is some on the left and some on the right that can't bring it to themselves to do the American thing and vote. Because, Trump says mean things. Oh. It just drives me up. He says mean things. Grow the fuck up. Damn, you people went last in New Jersey 5 minutes, I'll tell you that. I've talked to other New Jerseyans, and it's like, we're all like, yeah, well, what's wrong with Trump? It's so? To a lot of us, it's a Democrat state, unfortunately. And we're like, yeah, we're rude, we're crude, we're obnoxious. We don't give a shit. No, I'm talking, it's like, so he says mean things. Big goddamn deal. Get over it. So Bill Clinton is out there trying to campaign Oh, my God. Video has captured an attacker shooting and robbing a 71-year-old man in Chicago. He was watering his lawn, the 71-year-old man, when this kid came along, attacked him, shot him, and robbed him. Liberal policies for you. That's Chicago. As I was saying, Bill Clinton is going nuts. And he's raging against Donald Trump to make America great again. It's got me stuttering because I'm sitting here laughing. Because he says it's racist. So is he calling his wife racist? Is he racist? He's suggesting that it is a false promise to American voters and racially motivated. That message, I'll give you America great again. If you're a white Southerner, you know exactly what it means. And I always know we know what it actually means. It's code word. I get tired of that because everything, that's not what it actually means. What he said isn't what it actually means. We know what he actually means, even though we're not the ones that said the words. We're gonna tell you what it actually means. I love that because it's not what he said, but they're going to tell you what he said. What? But what it means is I'll give you the economy you had 50 years ago, and I'll move you back up the social totem pole and other people down. No, that's what the Democrats do, Clinton. That's what the Democrats do, Bill. And I get it. That's my culture. But in 2008, good old Billy Bob cut a radio ad for Hillary. Promising voters that she would make America great again. And he also is upset. He just turned 70. I don't know how I got so old. It really bothers me that Hillary's opponent seems to be doing best among older people. Because they know you're bullshit, Bill. They know the lies that you have been dumping on people for decades now. He also went on to talk about... I got something on my phone going on. He went on to talk about the blue-collar workers in Southern Virginia and East Kentucky were hurt and need more federal government help. It's the federal government that screwed them over. He wants to go to and push solar panels, which are failing because it is not a reliable energy source, and windmills. I'm not against windmills, but you can't have them all over the amount that it would need to power everybody. You would have basically a big blender for birds. It is not justified. You put a solar panel on your house, you better hope you never have a fire inside of it. You better hope there is no fire. And you explain why, because those solar panels are constantly generating electricity. Even at night, they're still in the moonlight generating some electricity. You cannot shut them off. Water and electricity do not mix well for human beings. Secondly, you now have a major trip hazard on your roof. Kiss your house goodbye in a house fire. He went on, Bill Clinton, to say that the country is being hurt with all this constant nah. What the fuck? Is this like a 1950s, 60s song? This is about you and your future, and you should vote for Hillary because she's the best change maker I ever knew. You know what? She probably should be a change maker. Yep. Do you need change for that dollar? Do you need quarters or dimes? That's the job that witch should be doing. Because he talks about the blue collar. He is not out for blue collar. They have stepped on blue collars for decades now. Bill Clinton is the one that has screwed our economy over with NAFTA. He has screwed over so many blue collar workers with NAFTA. I'm not even going to try to make a smart-ass comment about it. Because it's not funny. And for this man to be out on the trail, running his mouth, I guess he's out there looking for new prey for his sexual conquest. Freaking sickening that he's out there spouting that crap. And now, England, the UK, has announced the construction of a Great Wall near its border to keep out illegal immigrants. They're going to build a 13-foot high wall that will be built of smooth concrete, making it hard to climb, and will line the roads into the port town of Calais, where the entrance to the Channel Tunnel also sits. I guess they're getting tired also. But they always talk, and Britain's talking about doing this, and they're always talking how walls do not work. Walls are racist. Walls are this. Walls are that. Well, let me ask you this. Why does the White House have a bunch of walls around it? The fence. There's differences, but not a lot of difference. They both do the same job. Why are we giving money to Mexico right now so they can expand their wall to their south to stop illegal immigrants from coming in their country? And it's 65 countries now have border walls or barriers. And this is one of the few times America is behind the times on the issue. There's a lot of country. Israel has a wall. And even the left-wing Slate magazine has forced to admit the Israel fence is very effective. The number of fatalities from terror attacks within Israel dropped from more than 130 in 2003 to fewer than 25 in 2005. The country has barriers with the West Bank, Gaza, and Egypt, and is now constructing a barrier with Jordan. Hungary's wall. This has been one of the most effective barriers given the speed at which it was erected in recent time. When the migrant crisis was still in full swing last year, Hungary began closing the Western Balkan migrant route, blocking people marching through from Siberia in September and cutting the country off from unwanted incursions from Croatia. Migrant numbers went from 10,000 illegal crossing a day to just 29. Macedonia's wall. So effective is Macedonia's wall that migrants have been storming it in masses in an attempt to break it down. These are the scenes of some people want to avoid on the U.S.-Mexico border, and to avoid them, they would rather allow illegal crossings to continue. But the number of illegal crossings dropped by 90% after Macedonia strengthened its border with Greece. In March of this year, 4,930 people crossed the Greek-Macedonia border illegally. Just 10% of the figure for the same month last year. Again, while some of this can be attributed to the decline in crossing attempts, that decline itself was prompted by the erection of the barriers. They wrote erection. Migrants stopped attempting to use the route, and thus the pull factor was eradicated when they found out that wall stood in their way. Kenya, Saudi Arabia, Turkey have all built walls which have scarcely been referred to as racist and xenophobic in the same way Mr. Trump or indeed Mr. Orban or Netanyahu walls have been. There is double standards for walls around the world. In 2004, a border fence set to be erected between India and Pakistan was laundered by the liberal New York Times, and the headline read, "India and Pakistan, good fences make good neighbors." United Nations itself still enforces a 52-year-old demilitarized zone in Cyprus, complete with barbed wire fencing, concrete wall, watchtowers, and even minefields. Milana, Spain. There is just wall after wall after wall. But it's only Trump is being racist. Because we're trying to protect our sovereignty. It's called hypocrisy. The idea of walls or fences to keep America safe is not a new idea. And I'm not talking about the ones around Hillary Clinton's family home in Chappaquiddick, which is surrounded by a security fence with a guardhouse. In May, the current chief of the U.S. Border Patrol Agency said that barriers and walls on the U.S. border do help stop the surging tide of illegal immigrants into the United States. Asked during a Senate subcommittee hearing if barriers work, he replied, "Barriers, as in physical barriers, they have been. They have been." Right. So, all of the things we use on the border, physical barriers, fencing as one, technology is a great benefit to us. Plus, the agencies still have that response as well. So many walls around this country, but Trump talking about, by the way, Congress approved it decades ago. It was supposed to be built. The American people approved it. The politicians didn't build it. Because then what would they argue during election time? What would these politicians argue with each other about? Have a great day. You've been listening to the Reaver of Common Sense with its host, Jersey Joe. You can tune in every day, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on hppundit.com and shrmedia.com.